I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Okay. Bob Casilius,
Here.
Travis Dunlap,
Present.
Jim Meeks,
Here.
Timothy Meunier,
Yes.
Bernie Paparad.
Here. Okay, it's the first good year, we have to reorganize.
I make a motion to leave it as it is.
Second. Like this?
We're in the discussion phase now.
I see that. Okay, roll call.
Timothy Meunier,
Yes.
Travis Dunlap,
Yes.
Bob Casilius,
Yes.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Bernie Paparad.
Yes. Okay. All right, fellas, how about the minutes?
So so make a motion to approve.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Timothy Meunier,
Yes.
Bernie Paparad.
Yes. Once again, nice minutes. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've been on the board and I've seen. All right. Nothing? Nothing? Okay. Report of officers, committee and staff. You have anything?
I don't have anything.
Okay,
Just to let you know that there's one gentleman here tonight about the containers. We still have two other ones that are still outstanding. One has sent in his information, but he has not followed through on it. And the other one hasn't followed through on anything yet. So we still have two outstanding containers out of the residents.
okay. Attorney Brazil?
I've got nothing. Oh, I got two swearing in to do.
Okay,
Hope you, Jim. You ready? Let's start with you, Bernie.
okay. Always raise my right hand.
I, Bernie Paparat, do solemnly swear
I, Bernie Paparad, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals of the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana,
as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals for the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana,
according to law and to the best belief and to the best of my ability,
according to the law and to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I, Danny Queens, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
And the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
And I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals of the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana,
as a member of the Board of Zoning Appeals of the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana,
according to the law and to the best of my ability,
according to the law and the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
So full board. Travis, you have anything? Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing. Nothing?
I'll have something at the end.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have a preliminary hearing, Harry Holbrook, I need you to stand up and walk up here so that you're closer to the mic. And that's what you're looking for.
Yes, sir. My name is Harry Holbrook. I live at 1244 Cone Street, Burns Harbor, Indiana. I'm looking for a variance and a permit for a shipping container to be used as a storage unit on my property due to the fact that raccoons that are shredding up my wooden buildings that I have on the property now that store my lawn and garden equipment and so forth.
Okay, that's basically what you want. You're seeking a use and a development standard.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, if I could ask our council a quick question. I took a look at this, and it's maybe a stupid question. I also went through this with the board. I'm kind of confused here. Shipping container by definition doesn't appear to be a building. And also too, it's by definition not permanent. Plus two, it's not something that would have concrete. Is this the correct variance to be requesting as an accessory building? Because is it really a building? I guess I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, that's kind of my take on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, the use is, I think, pretty obviously satisfactory as far as what the intent is. But
I mean, how's it in a car park there to store stuff? I mean, it's used by that. By definition, it doesn't appear to be a building, because it's a shipping container meant for transit.
Right, it wouldn't be an accessory buildings, but I believe in the code doesn't, what part of the definition does it include shipping container?
I didn't see shipping container. I'm seeing where it says the definition of building structure for support, enclosure, shelter, or protection of persons, animals, chattels, movable property of any kind, and which is permanently affixed to the land. So does the shipping container have to be, assumed they'll never be moved again? I guess that's the only question I had, just for clarity's sake.
No, I was under, I was trying to remember back when they put in the shipping container ordinance, if they had included that as a new definition, but if they didn't, then it wouldn't.
Well, this is older though, so maybe something has something more.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the new one.
There, in the plan commission, we did a whole ordinance on shipping containers and everything, and we redid the whole book. So I don't.
Oh,
if
this
it's
is
a-
older than, I don't have that. Okay.
It could not be in there. So if you can get that, Attorney Brazil, if you can look that up and send it to us or send it to Michelle and you get it out to everybody, what we're looking for. And we'll have to see about if we have to change what he's looking for. Okay?
Because the reason I bring it down is this preliminary versus public, so I want to make sure we.
Yeah, this is where to get things ironed out at. You know, you have to see Michelle, get everything all fixed up. You have to send letters out to all the people, you got your packet
Yes, sir.
and everything else. And I believe in that ordinance, if it is granted, you have to do some upgrades on that shipping container.
Has to be painted to match the color of the building.
Yeah, and everything else, all that,
Yes.
I don't know what yours says on the side, but most of them say something. Well, this one doesn't look like it says anything. All right,
How long has that container been there?
Since October of 2018.
oh, so you just.
Okay, so my question is, why is this coming up now?
Because they just put a new shipping container ordinance in.
I understand that, okay, but correct me if I'm wrong, you'd be grandfathered.
I believe in there, they talked about that there was no grandfather, that everybody with one had to apply within a certain amount of time.
Right.
Okay, well, apparently then some of us have an old copy, so, you know, if we get a new copy of the
New ordinance.
new ordinances.
Send out all the shipping ordinance stuff if you would, Michelle. Okay, now, sitting on the plan commission too, you kind of know the stuff that we were putting in. And there's all kinds of different stuff about if it's on a construction site, it has so many days,
Right.
or you have so many days when it's done. And if it's in this district, you shouldn't have, or you need to apply for something else. And there's stuff with the building commissioner has to go through and everything else, so. Okay, but if you'll get that stuff out to them or to us, and we'll go from there. Anything else, you guys?
No, it's the only questions I had for right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved for a public hearing and with the caveat that we had received new information with regard to the shipping containers in the ordinance.
Seconded.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Timothy Meunier,
Yes.
Travis Dunlap,
Yes.
Bob Casilius,
Yes.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Bernie Paprad.
Yes. All right, there you go. Keep in contact with Michelle and get your stuff in, and we'll see you. What's the next meeting?
February 22nd.
22nd.
Tuesday.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
All right,
So that's gonna be chapter 15 at that time.
Yeah.
okay. You can go if you want.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. We have no public hearing, no old business. You're not seeing anything on the horizon besides the other shipping containers?
Yeah, which is gonna be even more questionable like this. We've got probably 25 to 30 commercial properties that have shipping containers on
I
them.
know.
That's gonna really be a.
We go behind the truck stops in the auto car dealer. What's our, what's Bozak got back there? 7?
There's 7 on one side, there's 3 or 4 on this side. Yeah,
Okay.
almost every dealership has a 1
Well,
or 2 containers.
the town's no different.
Totally understand that. I mean, it's just,
Okay.
again, the same question's gonna come up about why they've been there for eons and now all of a sudden they've changed the ordinance and wanting them removed. So
How many are on residential properties?
we have 4. We had 4 properties that had shipping containers on them. One of them was on Salt Creek. That one has been removed. We have one that's on Mr. Holbrook, which is 1244 Colon. And we have 1101 right across the street from on 149 here. Christopher Soto, he's got one right next to his garage. And then there's also one across the street from there on 149, 1128. There's a container in the backyard of that home.
Okay.
Okay, have these people been notified about this?
Yeah, they were all sent letters, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was all letters sent out. There was a letter created. I sent it to the town council, got it approved by Tony and the council. And that's what we're in the process right now, creating a letter for the storage containers for the commercial property, because it's gonna have to be a little different wording than it was for the residential.
Right. Okay. Anything new business? Alrighty. Jim, go to the order.
Question for the building commissioner. This Board of Zoning Appeals form. Is this our standard form?
Yes,
Okay, can we get a date put on it? There's no date on there. We
when
need
the form was created.
no, we need to have a date when next to the signature here. Okay, there's no date on here. It'd be helpful if we had dates on it, because you have this other one back here that, the one you rejected, you know, that one, let me find it here. When he filled out the form for the storage container, there's actually a spot for the date. There's not one on the appeal. So if we could get a date put on that form, that would be great.
Michelle, you see that?
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, down by his name and by the signature over there would be a good spot for the date, I mean. Anywhere, but should be a date on here so we can keep track of it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, we're on containers also. The only other thing I wanted to bring up about this one property is that if you saw the pictures of the 4 pictures that were sent, the existing units that he's talking about that are the raccoons that torn apart, there's one building that's pretty solid still, but there's a building next to it. When these have to come down, if this container is allowed, then this other pieces of property that's actually close to his existing home right now, that's concerned too about that, that it's dilapidated, the roof caved in on one of the buildings. I mean,
Well, we'd have two issues here. We'd have a condition of the building
right, and then
plus a size issue. Because we got
Yeah,
somebody
I did
storing
not-
now on the same property.
I didn't see that until I walked back there to take a look at the storage container. And I believe storage containers in the new ordinance have to be mounted or put on either a gravel or concrete pad to be a permanent fixture.
Okay,
But
okay.
that, I know we'll get into that.
Let me ask again though. Okay, so Joe Bob down the street has a shed. We're gonna make him pick it up, and put a pad under it?
This came, I did not create this.
That can't be. You can't go, I mean, there's gotta be probably 200 sheds in this town. We're not gonna require these people to pick these up and put a pad on.
I think the main thing was the storage containers, because originally it was stated in our.
Well, Jim, take a look at the ordinance, how it's written,
Right.
and it might explain itself out,
Well,
okay?
Yeah, I gotta see this.
and even on, I mean, to Jack's point, even as far as the existing sheds, the storage container not gonna last forever. And you know it's gonna be subject to elements and deterioration, just like any other.
Good, you're gonna get that too, and they're not. When you buy them, you're not buying a new one,
Right.
you're buying one that's been across the ocean in the salt water and everything else, so it's not like the hinges are gonna be bad. Cause we had some at work back there, and you couldn't hardly get the hinges open, cause they were all corroded up and everything else. So, yeah, to me, it's not a deal, and I'll tell you what, I do it all the time. I like trap raccoons like they're going out of style by my house.
Is there a problem with what's being stored in there too, or is there not have a problem in my house, but you guys are talking, if there is?
I mean, I would never say nothing what you store in your garage or anything,
I have a wooden shed. I don't have any problem. I mean, I got rooms.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that you.
Well, I'm guessing it's the condition.
right,
Because he's obviously got places where they can get in.
right,
If they can get in, yeah, they're gonna destroy it.
right.
And the biggest thing.
But you could take measures on the shed by my house, I doubled the floor in it. To try to, it's on stone, and we blocked all the outsides up, just so they can't, if they can get their nose in there, they're gonna start digging and going and everything else. But,
Well, we're gonna have to be careful about this, otherwise you're gonna have 500 of these things out here. So,
And the biggest thing is the facade also, because you can see it from, in other words, when you drive by a home, just like on 49, you can see it, but it's not out of sight, out of mind, but these are actually invisible or visible from that which comes under the facade. ordinance.
yeah, it's funny you say that, because as I was looking at the pictures today, I actually went on Google and looked at from the top. His in particular, you wouldn't probably have that issue. It's kind of hard to see back there, but generally speaking, you're right, you're gonna see it.
And that's part of the ordinance, that's enough.
So whatever decision we make, we're gonna end up living with, so.
you gotta be careful, because Soto is one of them. And he's not in a residential zone, right?
No, he's in a business park.
Yeah, and the guy across the street isn't in a residential either.
No, that's
He's in a, one of those special zones,
special zones, yeah.
right? And, that's Burger's old house down there and everything else. And that's something you might, when that one comes up, you might want to look at what, he had to come in and get a variance to put his stuff there, and they were very specific about what he could put there, who could store there, and anything else. So we need to look at that variance from 20 years ago about if he's illegal. It doesn't matter that it's a storage container, he's just not allowed to put anything out there. And it was supposed to be just him and his dad parking his truck there, and it's went right around down the road. Oh, that's not Burger First. I know who that's the lawn guy. That's next to Troop's house.
112 you're speaking of?
Yeah,
112 on this side of the road.
it's the
And that-
two houses together with all the cars and the junk, and nobody lives in either house.
Why don't we have some cars?
Yeah, because they go put a license plate on them every year and they can't do anything.
Doesn't the ordinance say they gotta be run?
Yeah, that's, I know, that was, what do you call it, house? You have to say me.
Right now, it's Rhonda Williams, but
Yeah, okay, but that's two houses for me. On the, there's the field.
I can't get involved in that.
What it is? Okay.
However, we'd like to condemn it.
Sorry about it, look at it every day, okay. Anything else good in order? Never mind about Burgerford, that's, we don't have to worry about that, that's another property there.
Why don't we get it anyway, just to look it over?
Burgerford's variance on 149 L.
Just take a look at it. And
Yeah,
It can't hurt just to take a look at it.
okay. So our next meeting is February 22nd. Right, 7 o'clock?
No question. Was everybody issued a book like, Mr. Manning guys with the ordinances, or is that?
This is old, this is from 2017.
Can we all get,
Tell-
can we all get a copy of it, or is that on us to print out?
No,
Right.
you can get it online too,
Yeah.
if you want,
And you
but you can
print
get
it out
it.
1,000 pages.
Well, no, no,
Wow, my book at home is like this thick,
Yeah, I've seen.
because it's not only the stuff that pertains to us, it's
It's everywhere.
trash,
Is that right?
it's the porn site, adult video site, it's all
Well,
this.
that was the example I would have used. Bernie.
So you have chapter 15 to which.
Is that what you have there?
I put it on
Chapter
15 in particular, then
Okay.
I have all
Yeah.
the notes throughout it, so.
Yeah.
Is the new one online?
Yes, and I'll make sure I send everybody to chapter 15.
Okay,
I think-
yeah, it's all online, it's all.
I just have one question as far as these BZA forms. At the bottom where it has to get notarized, there is a date for that.
Well, that's for the notary, that's not for, that notary could have signed that anytime.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, because they have to
He
have
could
these.
he could fill this out on the 22nd of January and then take it to the notary on the 25th of January, see what I'm saying?
Right, I have to have these 15 days or, yeah, 10 days prior to the BZA meeting in general.
Right,
Right,
So I told him that I had to have this by the 15th, and that's when he came and left it with Corinne when she signed off on these and notarized them.
that's fine, but what I'm saying is, he could have filled, for example, he could have filled it out on the first. So he could put the first,
Oh, I
and
see,
then when it got
okay,
notarized, that's the date it got notarized.
Right.
correct.
Those dates, technically, those dates should be the same, because you should sign it in front of the notary, that's actually the law,
right,
but in either case, there should be a date when he signs this.
Okay,
all righty. All right, let's see what else. That's all I got for announcements. How about we
Move to adjourn.
I got a motion,
Second.
and a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Travis Dunlap. Rob Casilius,
Yes.
Jim Meeks, Timothy Meunier,
Yes.
Bernie Paparad.
Yes.
Tim, did you make that motion?
Mhm.
See, that's why we make the vice president.
Yeah, right. I don't have a shovel big enough.
I got it,